Welcome to The Creative Missionary, the podcast for songwriters, vocalists, storytellers, and artists who believe their gifts are more than just self-expression. They're tools for God's mission. Welcome to the final episode of Vocals for Media Missions. Today, we're not just wrapping up, we're adding new tools to your singing journey. In episode 8, we led you through an exercise to restyle a song by tapping into what's more natural for you. We were actually tapping into your natural tendencies. Today, we'll look at the common tendencies, and we will do some specific individualized exercises for each of those vocal tendencies. This should help you in the journey ahead as you continue to build on your strengths and work on your vocal weaknesses. And aim for higher personal goals for your vocals. And then we'll wrap up with one last recording so we can compare it to the recording you did in episode 1. Let's dive in. Each of us naturally have different vocal tendencies. Lighter female chest voices are softer, brighter, and more agile, with less powerful low compared to heavier voices. A key characteristic is a tendency to transition to head voice earlier and with greater ease, which can make high notes feel more natural and less strained, but may leave the low notes feeling thin or weak. So as you can see, tendencies are what we must work with and work on in order to get over our obstacles and improve in our vocals. Cynthia has a few individualized exercises for those with different tendencies. Let's go through these exercises together. Please take note of the ones that apply to you. Can you go over some of the common tendencies we have?
Okay, so first tendency is light chest voice or no chest voice at all. And so basically it's like, you're talking like this all day long. Like if you're down here, it's just, you just don't have a chest voice. It's breathy and weak. So that's the first tendency. Second tendency is a pulled chest, high larynx. So I will demonstrate that for you. So it's like you're going like, well, actually I kind of like mix kind of well, but like, and then it kind of just like strains. So that is
so tight here.
Yeah, you're getting tight, and then that will lead to the third tendency, which is like the flip. Because if you have a pulled chest voice and you have a really strong chest voice, what will happen is you will flip into falsetto. So that was kind of what you were doing when we were doing the sirens. It was like,
So what I hear there is you've just lost your strength, right?
I lost my strength.
That's what the flip is when
it's a flip.
You're singing in your chest voice and then suddenly you go to a higher note and you lose that strength.
Exactly. So like this, it's like that's a flip falsetto voice. And then a mixed voice is when you sound like the same person from the bottom of your voice to the top of your voice. And so an example of that would be...
And that's what we want, though, right?
That's what you want.
Yeah, that's the tendency we want.
That's what you want.
That's what we want.
That's your goal. Beyonce, Mariah Carey, Taya, just all of them. They all have perfect mixed voices.
Can you show us some exercises that work on, helping us get past some of those weaker tendencies and help us to get to a good mixed voice?
Yes, definitely. Okay, so I'm going to go through vocal exercise number 1 is for people with light chest voice or no chest voice at all. And so these are usually females, but this also happens in males. And so you want to have like a really nasty like, so that's your chest voice. You can feel the vibrations in your chest. And literally, if you just go around the house and just do that all day, like, doing that alone will strengthen your chest voice. Okay, so for females, we are going to do these exercises that we have done before, but we're going to do a little bit of a twist on it. So you can do this. So short, and succinct, and I'll do it again. Ah, 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 ah. Ah, 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 ah. Ah, 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 ah. Ah, 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 ah. Ah, 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 ah. Ah, 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 ah. Ah, 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 ah. With your tongue out, and then we'll do some more. Ah, 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 ah. 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 All right. Now I'm going to do exercises for the males. So we're going to start in a different part of our voice. So there, I'm not able to hit those low notes, so don't copy the way I sang it, but for the males, sing it strong. All right, another exercise for the males. And yeah, you want to have your tongue out if possible when you're doing that for the ah. And then for both males and females, you can just randomly just hit a couple of notes as well. Actually, for males, it'll be different notes, but for females, like literally just one note at a time, like ah, 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 ah. Males can do this too. Ah, 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 ah. 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 For the males, it'll be too high at this point, but females can keep on going. Ah, ah, ah. 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 Okay, now we're going to do vocal exercises for people who have a pulled chest or high larynx voice, people who tend to pull. Okay, so we're going to start over here for the females. We're going to do it on a foo. We're going to go hootie, foo, woo. Head voice. Foo, 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 foo. 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 So a hootie vowel helps you, it just helps you to get into your head voice, which is good for people who have a high larynx and pulled chest voice. Okay, so we're doing the same exercises, just different vowels. Okay, I'm going to start a little higher. So again, hootie, fee. Fee, 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 fee. Alrighty. And then, same place, we're going to do it on we. Wee, 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 wee. 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 Alrighty. And then you can repeat that same exercise, same thing. You can do it on a gee and a goo. So you can try that, females. Okay, so now for the males. more common for males to do this, to have a pulled chest or high larynx. So same exercises, just we're starting in a different key for the males, and you're going to start in your head voice. So head voice is the woo, woo thing, okay? So if you're a male, it's going to start really high, but I want you to try to find your head voice. So woo, woo. So we're going to start here for you guys, and it'll be a foo again. Foo. Foo, 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 foo. 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 There you go, males. Okay, you're going to repeat that same thing, exactly the same thing, on a fee now. Fee, 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 fee. 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 Alrighty. And so for the males, you guys can continue doing that same scale on the wee, the gee, and the goo. Okay? So there you go. All right, vocal exercises for people who sing with a flip falsetto voice for the females. Males can do this too, actually. We can just start in the same key. Okay, so we're gonna do disjointed ah. So ah, 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 ah. And you can do it a bit funny there, so like a funny sound, like ah, like whiny. All right, now we're going to repeat it on a different sound. So we're going to do NG. Sing. You can say sing. It's a creaky door. the goal would be if you're able to join everything, but that again is advanced. But so I'm going to just do a little bit here. But if you're able to join it all, that would be amazing. So it's like. So that's the goal, to get to a mixed voice, is to be able to join it. And in between exercise that you could do to help bridge that is like this. There's this little pattern here. I'll just demonstrate it. So it goes. Go back down. So like literally you can just play the first couple exercises and you just repeat. Okay, so with that same exercise, you can do it on a na and a nay. So same thing. It's just na 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 na, and then you just go up and down, and then on a nay as well for males and females. And then another exercise will be this one. So we're going to do it on an ah. Ah, 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 ah. Ah, 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 ah. Ah, 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 ah. Ah, 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 ah. Ah, ah, ah. All right, so I'm going to do that one more time. You can do this on many different vowels too. The and the So and then you can do it on an NG. But I'm going to do it on the na and then on the nay. Okay, so again, funny and nasty. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Really nasty here. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 the males. Na 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 na. This is for the males up here. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. There you go. That was quite the workout. And so you can do that same exercise on, like I said, the a, the the ng, the na, which we just did, and then the nay. And then you can take off the consonants too, like the a. You can just do it on a as well. So happy practicing.
So I noticed that some of these exercises are a repeat of what we learned in episode 4, where we learned the vocal routines.
Yes.
Yeah, so obviously the vocal routine that you gave us in episode 4 already kind of work on some of the vocal tendencies that some of us might have.
Yeah.
But this is a more extensive list.
Yeah, and then this way, because like the last time when we were talking about the vocal routines, we were just talking about routines and practicing your voice, but now you know what each routine, like which exercise and what tendency they address.
That's right.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Happy practicing.
Happy practicing.
Before we wrap up, we're going to go back to your baseline recording you did in episode 1. Now, using everything you have learned, record the same verse and chorus. Now, play the 2 back-to-back and listen and evaluate whether you have made improvements. As a final thought, I'd like to give a few words of encouragement to you as you continue your journey to vocal improvement. We can't ever love the craft more than we love God, or we risk having created a little idol for ourselves, which is the love of the voice, love of song, love of singing over the love of God. In all our works, they are merely byproducts of our relationship with God and the fruit of His Spirit, and a natural response to God's great commission, which is go and be my witness to the ends of the earth. So therefore, go. Go with your voice, and ultimately with the love of God, and be a witness and testament of God's saving grace in your life to the ends of the earth. Well, this ends our 10 episodes of Vocals for Media Missions. Thanks for joining us throughout these 10 episodes. We hope you have not only gained new knowledge, but have put it to good use. I wish you the very best on your vocal improvement journey. Remember to keep practicing, keep on singing, and keep carrying the mission forward. Oh, and do send in your final project for our contest. All the best, guys. See you at our contest. Thanks for joining me on The Creative Missionary. If today's episode inspired you, please subscribe for more and share it with a fellow creative in your church or network who needs a reminder that their creative gifts matter and that creativity is for a purpose far greater than just self-expression. It's for God's mission. That's all for now. Keep creating, keep serving, and keep carrying the mission forward.